Hey, what's up, everyone? So today we've had another green day, another good green day, but it didn't look like there was going to be much to trade. It looked at one stage like it was going to be a no trade today. What I'm saying is today was a very non-volatile market day, very sideways, choppy, go nothing, go do nothing, go nowhere market. And as a result, there was very little volatility in the stocks. There was some stocks made good gains, but on very steady gains. There was no volatile moves at all. So two exceptions, pre-market, Plug Power announced a partnership with Amazon, and as a result of that, it spiked up, and we caught partial the back end of the move. And we managed to get $1,500 on the back end of the move, and then we supplemented that a little bit later, and we got a little bit more, so we were effectively just over $2,000 out of Plug Power. And then the only real stock that met the criteria in terms of volatility, in terms of price range, in terms of volume, and everything that I'm looking for in a trade was a new IPO today. So Mobilicom hit the markets today and started trading. And it was the first IPO. Whilst I was streaming live on my live stream, somebody was mentioning that it looks like it pre-market, it could be an interesting IPO. So I put it on my watch list, and I had it on my my watch list on the screens in terms of the chart open. And when it opened at 11:20 market time. And the first 10 minutes, it really didn't do nothing. It moved up, moved down, moved up, moved down. It was very kind of sideways, and I thought it was just going to be one of those similar situations with the wider market. And then after 10 minutes, it decided to move. We got a little bit of volume came in, and it moved up. So I jumped in, and we rode it all the way up. Let's take a look at the moves. Let's first and foremost, let's take a look at Plug Power, where we traded this pre-market. So Plug Power, they announced the news with Amazon here, and it made first move up. This is when it hit the momentum scanners. It would have been nice to get, I would like to say that we got on the back of this first pullback. You're never going to get the first move unless you know something that the rest of us don't, or you're watching it for whatever reason as it starts to move and you jump in. You're never usually going to get the first move. So you look for a safe entry, you look for the pullback. This would have been a good, a really good entry at 31 for the first pullback. First candle makes a new high after the pullback. Nice kind of flag setup. We didn't get that. So unfortunately, what we did get was the second pullback. So as it pulled back again, we entered here as we made new highs. And we rolled this up, and we took good size. We rolled this up, and and what I'll do is I'll show you the actual trade. I'll show you this, and you'll see where I got in, where I entered, and we rolled this up, took profits, rolled it up again, took profits. We traded the next move up as well, and then when it started to consolidate and settle here, that's when we exited the position, and it then, sure enough, sold off for the rest of the day. So that was Plug Power. We did trade it a little bit later in the day, and it was around 2 p.m. market time. So this move here, we didn't get a lot out of it. We got in for the break of 29.90 as this started to make a little bit of a pop-up. We got this volume spike, so we entered for the break of the VWAP. We took some profits on this pullback here, and we held the rest, and we put a 10-cent trailing stop in. So as it moved up, it pulled back and stopped us out. So we didn't, as I say, we didn't make a huge amount extra on that, but it all adds up in the grand scheme of things. I think we made an extra $400 or $500 on that particular move in total. So I'll show you the Plug Power trade. You can actually watch that in real time as a replay. But in the meantime, let's go back and talk about the IPO. So this was the IPO from today. When this opened, it opened around just over 4.13, 4.10, 4.13, something like that, and it was ranging about 10 cents. It instantly found support at $4, and it moved sideways for the first 10 minutes, didn't really do a lot. There wasn't a lot of volume. When the volume did start to come in, it shot up and it really started to motor. We got in for the break of the $0.50. We got in, I think we got filled at 457 as this moved up into a volatility hold. So 5,000 shares we entered into a volatility hold. And 5-minute halt, it gapped up. So when it resumed, we were ready to take profits, but then it started to make a move up. So we added another 5,000. Then we added another 5. So we're at 15,000 shares here. So we're reasonable size. We've got 15,000 shares, and this continued to move up. As we reached this level here, we took 5,000 shares off. So we still got 10,000 shares. It moved up, and just as it was about to enter the volatility hold, I added another 5,000 shares. So now we've got the 15,000 shares, and we're in this volatility hold up. I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, I hope that it's going to gap up as opposed to gap down. And sure enough, it did. It was looking very strong. It was looking very, very strong anyway, which is why I added the extra 5,000. I do like to, when stocks are volatility halts on the upside and they're looking strong like this, I do like to kind of maximize my profitability or the potential without actually taking too much risk in case it doesn't go my way. But if it gaps up, it gives you that that ability to maximize your gains. It did pull back on resumption. It gapped up. It pulled back on resumption. And as it moved up, it started to stall around the $6. So I took some profits there, and it continued to move up. We then added on the way back up, and then it came back down, and it flushed, and we got caught in that flush. So we actually lost, and we gave a bit back off the top there. But not to be outdone, I switched over at this point to the small account, and as the small account, on the small account, we traded top end of this 30-cent move, and then once we got out of the small account, we then traded this pullback. We got in this again, and we took some profits here, and we got out here. We took some profits here all the way up, rode this all the way up. When it started to pull back, we got out, and we was able to ride this up to the top. When it did come back down again, it started, because this $6 level was seen as a key level of both resistance and support. It came back down here, so I was looking for $6, and every time it went below $6, so here I would look for the pop-up, and I was taking 10-cent moves and just little bits and pieces on this, and we managed to do $14,000 on this across the course of the day. I was watching this. There was a trend line here. I put a trend line up here. I was watching this trend line. There was a resistance line here, which is why we got in on this level here as well for the breakout. So all in all, we had some really good moves, some very good patterns that broke out. It was what I like to call an easy trader. Now, what we were able to do as well is draw another trend line from here through here and up this way. And that gave us some additional ideas in terms of what we were going to be trading. And we got another pump just a little bit later, so just after 2:30. And so this was, or it fell. So we got this pump. It had been selling off, and it started to make a move, pull back, and we managed to get on this one as well. We got stopped out, and unfortunately we didn't trade this. I didn't see this this move up. Would have liked to have got that one, but we only got this move up. So $14,000 on this one, just over $2,000 on Plug Power, a $16,000 day. That'll be about $15,000 all in when it comes to the net profit. So we've made back approximately half of the drawdown that we had on Monday in the 3 days since. So we do have a chance to get back to those all-time highs, those annual highs that we have. So let's take a look at where we are on trade profit and loss in terms of the reports for or trader view. Let's take a quick look. Okay, trader view. Where does that put us on the day? I've just recently imported the details. You can see here, I've imported the trades from today, and I had the trades from yesterday in there as well. So that in itself on the trade profit and loss gives us a little bit of leeway. 131,000. So we're very close to the highs. Win loss expectation 2-1 on the trade accuracy. 394. We'll round that up to 400. 262. So not too far off. What's that? 8-5. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to that 2-1. This is where I'm happier, because we had this huge drawdown, and over the course of these 2 days, we've made huge inroads into recovering some of that. Now, I'm not, and what's really good about this is I'm not swinging for the fences. I'm not taking unnecessary risk. I'm not taking unnaturally big size on the positions that I don't believe warrant it. So on Mobilicom, for example, I went up to 15,000 shares, but I scaled in. I didn't go in with like 10,000. I scaled in 5,000, another 5,000, another 5,000. And I scaled in because the momentum was taking it northwards. And yesterday was the same. I was very patient with the trading, waiting for the setups. I think today was it a little bit easier to be patient because there was nothing to trade. There really was nothing moving at all within the realms of my strategy. So it was easy to be patient. But Mobilicom, Plug Power, they were the two that were significantly voluminous and had enough volatility to warrant getting in there and trading today. And they were really the only two. I looked at Bed Bath & Beyond. I looked at 8 stock, AMC. I looked at all the stocks that we'd traded over the last few days. There just was nothing really. It was the ones that were moving were below my threshold of what I like to trade. So I thought, I'm going to stick to my strategy. I'm going to stick to the rules of my strategy, and I'm not going to trade those. And I will wait for something to present itself. And of course, we've got the IPO Mobilicom, and that really allowed us to trade that well and be aggressive with it as well, and get the good gains. So where does that put us on the year? So 840k for the year. It puts us now in touch of our all-time highs of 869, which is where we were at the end of last week. So let's look at the days and times. Let's look at where we are in terms of the months of the year. We had a good month in January. We should be able to overachieve on January. So we need 14k between now and the end of the month. 4 trading days at 5k is 15k, 20k. So that should get us over January. We're currently at 131. So if we do get an extra 20k, we're not going to challenge for the best month of the year, but we're going to be very close. So very much on track, very much back in the game. And what do we do from here? Let's see what happens tomorrow, the last day of the week, last trading day of the week. It's Friday. Fridays tend to be a little less volatile than most days of the week, but it can't be less volatile than it was today. So I'm looking forward to trading tomorrow. I'll be trading from 2 hours before the market opens. I will be streaming live and streaming my trades live from 90 minutes before the market opens. So feel free to join me. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell or subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and that way you get reminded that when I do go live. And if you've enjoyed this trade recap, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm as well. And I'll be back at it tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. If you're wondering when the market's going to be open in your local time zone, it will be 90 minutes before that. So 8 a.m. market time will be East Coast on New York in the US. It's 1 p.m. I'll be streaming from it here in Dublin in Ireland, or same time in the UK, 2 p.m. on the continent of Europe. If you don't want to watch from anywhere else, join us from anywhere else in the world. Work it out yourself. The time zones are all different. I am not the speaking clock, so Google is your friend. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your evening. Having a good week. We're still red on the week, but we're green on the month, and we're putting a little green streak together. So enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope to see you when we stream live tomorrow, and good evening.